So, I stole a girl from her boyfriend, and now we are paying for it. Comma. I'm a 24-year-old guy, and my ex-GF in the story is 21 years old. About a year and a half ago, while I was studying in Australia, some of my friends came over to visit me and holiday at the same time. They included girl A and guy A, who were attached to each other, both friends of mine. I've known guy A for about 4 years, but we were never close. I've known girl A for about 6 months. They had been attached for about a year and a half. Now halfway through the trip, guy A had some important business deal going on, and he had to suddenly fly back. This was about the 4th day into a 7-day holiday. We were left with girl A's brother and girl B, our friend. Because we all slept together on the floor in the living room, we would chit chat late into the night. By we, I meant girl A and me, since her brother and girl B would sleep rather early, and both girl A and me are night owls. Somehow we bonded through that 2 or 3 night talks. We chatted, we laughed, we shared things close to our hearts. I confided in her my problems, and she did the same for me. The last night, we came to the point where I teared up a bit, whilst sharing my problems. She simply took out her iPod, found the song called Lean On Me, and let me listen to it. After that, she told me, "I'm your friend. I'm here for you." Sometime during the same night, I can't remember whether before or after, we got into a huge tickling fight. Even her brother woke up and joined in a bit. It lasted for maybe 15-20 minutes, and we were tickling each other all over. I apologize. It's a bit blurry now, but I remember that. I didn't think of the boyfriend at all whilst tickling his girlfriend. Girl A. I had hardly any attraction towards girl A. I wasn't even attracted to her. I didn't have any motives. She was just a cool girl I could talk to and have fun with. I don't remember much after that. Only that, somehow, the next morning, when we woke up, we were holding hands. After that, the holiday came to an end. She broke up with her boyfriend when she went back home. We started dating 2 weeks later. First online because I was still in Australia. Then when I came back home, we dating in earnest. She was my first girlfriend, and I could be said to be one of those desperate types. I'm not ugly. I'm a little plump at that time. I knew how to talk to girls, was reasonably funny. Self-esteem was average. I knew how to play the guitar, and played in public rather often. Drove my own car. Had some pretty close guy friends. I wasn't a loser, in the typical sense of the word. I was, however, a dickhead when I stole my friend's girlfriend from him. After dating for about a month though, my girlfriend started expressing regret and doubt. She started talking about how everything happened on impulse, because I was everything her ex-BF wasn't. He was quiet, passive, unadventurous etc. He always took her to the library to read, but she hated it, and she loved watching movies, but he hated watching movies. She and I had so much in common. She was just overwhelmed by everything. So she started talking about how she feels like a resut and a BTCH, how she let him down, how she shouldn't have left him like that for another guy, me. I ignored the warning signs. We continued to date. We grew very close. We slept together a lot. Sometimes it was 7-10 times a week during our hornier periods. Slowly the S-time started to slow though. About a year into the relationship, she told me that she didn't want to have S-time anymore. She didn't want to hold hands. She didn't want to do anything of that sort anymore. Her ex-BF started to move on, started to lessen contact with her. That made her start to slip into depression. She really only has 2 close friends in her life, me and him. Fast forward to today, almost 1 year and 10 months later. He is very distant to her. She refuses to give up contact with him. She keeps trying to be a friend to him, to make up for the wrong she did to him. I don't know how he feels about her, but he allows her to sleep over at his place. She says they don't have S-time. They don't even sleep together. She just sleeps over because he hardly even goes out or meets her. He ignores her most of the time. I've seen their messages. She can send him a wall of text and get an okay 3 hours later. I've no doubt that he gives her the cold shoulder most of the time. And me, I don't know how to move on with life. I've begun to truly love her. I've waited for her for a long time. I've tolerated a lot of things. I've tolerated her sleeping over at his place, even while we were dating. I've accepted her calling him baby and saying I love you to him. I've even driven her to his place, to drop her off, to spend the night at his place. And yes, I still believe her when she says that nothing goes on at all. Some of you may say that I'm hopelessly in love and deluded, but I believe her. She's told me that she can't bear to lose him or me as a friend. She was in depression once, and he pulled her out of it. Now she's in depression again. He says that he will be friends with her again if she never talks to me ever again. She refused. She says she will never let go of me, even as a friend. She used to have a lot of friends. Now she only has the two of us, and she will never let go of me. That's the main reason he is so distant from her now. He hates my guts. I don't blame him, and that's what is driving her crazy. She regrets her mistake terribly, but there's nothing she can do now that will make things better. He will keep drawing away from her while she is my friend, and she can't bring herself to let go of him or let go of me. Meanwhile, I hurt every day, every night. It's hard to sleep, at the risk of sounding goddamn emo or goth. If I think about the situation, my heart hurts really bad. I'm a 24-year-old man, and I ducking cry like a schoolgirl in my bed alone. FYI, her life consists of him, me, and her family. My life consists of her and my family. She is my entire social life. Reddit. What do I do? What can I do? I've considered cutting all ties with her and moving on, but I don't have the strength to do so also. I've seen her break down before. She is suffering from depression right now, and I've seen her have a nervous breakdown before. I'm worried she may develop a split personality. The one time I saw her break down, she ran screaming into the middle of a road that had cars driving on it. I had to drag her to the side of the road, after which she simply collapsed onto the ground, talking to herself. All she said was, "I'm cheap, I'm cheap, I'm cheap." A lot of other things happened that night, but the next morning, she didn't remember what happened at all. She remembered the argument we had that night, but after that, once she broke down, she doesn't remember anything. She didn't remember how she got home. I drove her home. She doesn't remember anything at all. It scares her, and it scares me. I don't want to be responsible for her becoming a split personality. I don't want to be responsible for her committing suicide. But Reddit, how do I move on? I can't cut all ties with her. At the same time, I'm emotionally handicapped. I still love her. I fetch her from work every night. I buy her gifts and little presents I know she'd like. I buy her snacks and food to cheer her up. I'm at her beck and call. Sometimes she says she doesn't want me to do stuff like that. She just wants me to be a friend. But I can't help it. When she says she'll take the train home, and I know she's tired, I'll tell her to stay put. I'll be there to fetch her home when her work ends. I don't know how to love another girl, and even if I did, I don't know how to move on without her dropping further into depression. Help me, Reddit. I know we deserve every bit of pain we are suffering now. We do. All I'm asking for is a listening ear, a place to get this off my chest and rant a while. Some people to talk to that maybe just might understand the hell we are going through. If I could turn back time, I would stop that mistake from happening. I've been close to committing suicide a few times. The only thing that stopped me was knowing that if I died, she wouldn't be able to take it. She literally wouldn't. What do I do? What do I do? Update. A detail I forgot to add in. Some of you are saying how I should break up with her. We're actually not attached. Officially. Unofficially. I dunno. It's messed up. She did say that even if she could recover from the whole trauma of the thing, she can't be attached to anyone at all. For the next 2 years at least. That includes the XBF. TL. Doctor, I stole my friend's girlfriend, and now we are paying the price in terms of emotional punishment for a long time to come.